YouTube, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a non-bullshit guide on how to start Amazon FBA in 2025. You see all these people have these 30, 40, 50, 100-minute videos on how to start Amazon FBA. It's very simple. I'm going to be giving you guys step-by-step guides on how to start and scale your Amazon business. Just go ahead and get to this video and drop so much value for you guys. Okay guys, so the number one action step that you could take right now to start off right after this video is get your Amazon seller account. It's $40 a month if you really want to take action. Right after you finish this YouTube video, you could go ahead and do that. It's a very simple process, easy to get done. A lot of people overcomplicate it. It's very easy. The second thing I want to talk about is after you get your Amazon seller account, you're going to need your softwares and supplies, right? There's tons of softwares. There's tons of people trying to sell you their supplies, their softwares with kind of like hidden agendas trying to get, a commission or a code or anything like that. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what softwares and supplies that you need to start selling on Amazon in 2025. With softwares, you're going to need two softwares, SellerAmp and Keepa, right? SellerAmp is going to be your profit calculator. It's going to be how you reverse source. SellerAmp has so many benefits. If you want to learn exactly how to use it, I have a YouTube video on that too, but SellerAmp is a no-brainer. Keepa is a no-brainer too. Keepa is a price history software. It just shows you all the data on a past product. So how we can use Keepa, right, and why Keepa is so important, instead of, guessing if a product is going to do well or not, what we would do, we would use the Keepa software. We'd look at the chart. We could look at the last 30 days, how that, item has performed. So we could see what the product has been selling at, how many people have been on the listing, how much times did it sell a month. Keepa would reveal that to us. It would reveal how many people on the listing. It would reveal the people on the listings, how much stock they have in their inventory. So we can make educated decisions and we don't end up losing money. It's very hard to lose money in Amazon FBA. It's practically impossible if you learn how to read a Keepa chart. Softwares is good. Now we need supplies, right? You're obviously going to need boxes. You're obviously going to need, I have a full YouTube video on that, but for the sake of this video, supplies, you're going to need some boxes. You go to USPS, they give out free boxes. You're going to need 4x6 labels, right? For 4x6 labels to slap on the boxes for each individual order. You could get that from UPS, right? UPS, get a business account. They give those out for free too. If you guys have a normal printer, you could obviously just print out a normal label and just cut it out. But a thermal printer is going to be super important, especially if you want to ship stuff FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, because Amazon requires you to have 2x1 labels that you can get on Amazon. It basically just differentiates your product from somebody else's, right? And that's how Amazon actually knows. And when we send their stuff into their warehouse, when we leverage their warehouse, that's how we realize that, okay, this is my inventory, this is theirs, by printing out FNSKU labels, 2x1 FNSKU labels. Those are all the softwares and supplies you're going to need, especially when you start off this business. You want to start off very lean, right? You don't want to go kind of too much, spend, thousands of dollars on all these fancy softwares. You don't need it, right? Let's see some profit first. Let's hit a couple $1,000s in sales. Let's get some money back in our investment. And then let's go ahead, go all in. Let's get some proof of concept first though. The next question I get is LLC or not. Do you need an LLC to start out Amazon FBA? Fun fact, I did my first 50K in sales in Amazon without even getting an LLC. You don't need an LLC. When you're registering for an Amazon seller account. You could just register as an individual, right? And then you could switch it to, an LLC, S Corp, whatever you want. Right? So you don't need an LLC to start. I know a lot of people, overcomplicate that, a lot of propaganda going on about LLCs. You don't need an LLC. The next question I get is FBA or FBM. So you guys are probably confused. I thought it was Amazon FBA. What is FBM, right? So FBA and FBM, it's super important to know the difference. FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. When we get an order, there's two different ways where you can fulfill an item. There's either FBA or FBM. FBA means fulfilled by Amazon. FBM means fulfilled by merchant. FBA, we're sending it to Amazon's fulfillment centers and they're prepping the orders for us. Most of the times they're going to take more of a fee with FBA because Amazon's handling fulfillment, Amazon's handling customer. So they're just handling more of the workload. With FBM, I love it for beginners because you could get an item, a sale at a store, right? You could list a product in the store and before you check out that item, it could already sell. And then you could ship that product out, same day. So I love FBM for speed. I tell all my students, I tell everybody, let's do FBM first. Let's get some proof of concept, especially when you're a beginner and you have limited cash flow. We want to get that money back as soon as possible, right? So FBM, you get a sale FBM, you send it to the customer. The order arrives in like 3, 4, 5 days and the cash flow process already begins. So that's why I love FBM for beginners. And then when we're scaling, right, we don't want to send out, 50, 100 orders every day. That's not the best use of our time. It becomes low ROI. That is where we go, we ship it out to Amazon. Then our only job is finding products for the low, right? And we're sending it to Amazon. Amazon's handling all the workload and everything for us. That's why I love it. And then the next question I would get from that FBA or FBM, what would I start off as a beginner? I would recommend FBM for like anybody that asked me, I'd have FBM. You might get some different responses from other people, but I would just say FBM. The next one I want to talk about is ungating, right? Ungating, this is where a lot of people just fall off. Ungating is a process of proving to Amazon that your items are actually actually legit. You're getting ungated for the item through a selling application. And what you need for that application is proof that your inventory is actually real. So that could be a receipt, that could be an invoice from a distributor, online retailer, anything that proves your inventory is actually real. Some of these listings are gonna ask for 10 units, some of these listings are gonna ask for 20, 50, right? And you're gonna have to provide proof that your item is actually real, right? And the best place that gives out invoices is Target. And the reason that I love Target is because Target just has so many different, brands. The brand that you're trying to get ungated for is probably gonna be, on Target. That's my go-to, right? And that's a lot of people's go-to. The next thing we're gonna go to, as we got our supplies, right? We got our softwares. We know we don't need an LLC to start up, right? FBA or FBM, we'll choose that we're gonna do FBM when we get an order. And then we learned about the ungating process. So when we do get the item, we know how to get approved to sell it. Now it's like the moment that you guys have probably been waiting for. How do we get the products, right? There's two different types of ways to actually source. There's OA and RA. OA stands for online arbitrage. RA starts for retail arbitrage, right? Retail arbitrage is just basically going into stores, the retail stores, those liquidation stores that have the products for the low and reselling them for the high on Amazon. A lot of these retail stores like Ross, Marshalls, Ollie's, they're getting these liquidation products. They're getting these products that are below market resale price, sometimes 30, 50, 70% off, market resale price. And that's where we come in. We grab all these units, we prep them out, we send them for Amazon, and we get that margin, right? And sometimes, and at scale, you can make tens of thousands of dollars doing this. So, and with online arbitrage, we're basically doing the same. We're manufacturing our margin, it's just online. So this is where it gets really fun, where you could just spend thousands of dollars on your computer, get the stuff for the low and resell them for the high on Amazon. If you would ask me, right, if you're a beginner right now and you were coming to me asking, hey Faraj, what should I start off first? I want to get your first sale as soon as possible. I would recommend going to retail arbitrage because you get the product in hand. This is where the profitable opportunity comes. You go into the store, retail arbitrage, you get a product for the low, let's just say it's $5 profit, 50% ROI. You get that product, you listed FBM in the store, there's like 25 units, it all sells out. FBM and retail arbitrage is so much faster, especially in Q4. Online arbitrage is more scalable because you're just on your computer. You could sit down, 8, 10 hours every single day and just source inventory from the comfort of your home, drinking coffee, have some music, whatever you want to do in the background, and you're just spending thousands of dollars in inventory, you're getting a 30, 40% return on that. So for beginners, I would really recommend just retail arbitrage, because retail arbitrage, anybody could just go in and, start scaling with seller amp. And that brings me to the point where, people are saying Amazon FBA is hard in 2025. I've literally given you guys all the steps that you need to take. It's just time to take action. That brings me to the last point, especially with Amazon FBA and all these online business models. If you can't take action, you're probably not going to be successful, right? If you can't take action on these simple step-by-step guide I gave you, and you're still saying, oh, I still don't get it. Oh, I don't know why I haven't taken action yet. That's probably the issue, right? Being a business owner, starting an online business, it is stressful, but you're shooting for that freedom. You're trying to, get something that other people don't have. So you're gonna have to be willing to do what these other people aren't willing to do. And that is, learn all of this, take these steps over here and go through the trench phases so that in 6 months to a year, you can delegate all this and you could turn this thousands of dollars coming into your account with systems built, to make this kind of semi-passive, right? Because there are ways to delegate that I could talk about right now, but I kind of don't want to, overload you guys with too much information. If you guys want more full in-depth videos, I have tons of those in my videos. Just take a look at my channel. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to book a call with me to see how we could start or scale your Amazon business, I'm gonna drop that link down in the bio. And if you guys want to join the best Amazon Discord community, I'm also gonna drop that down in the bio. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.